What's going on, guys? You're watching the Shieldbearer of Faith. Thank you for being here. I have been off doing training the last several weeks with Saveonemore.life. So if you would like to know more about that, check out these awesome stickers, man. Check that out. Saveonemore.life. Come get yourself a sticker at training. They're free when you come to training. They're pretty awesome. I really like them. That's what I've been doing now, traveling around. And some of the most common questions I get, I'm going to chat a little bit with you about one of them. But we get a lot of very common questions from very similar environments. People tend to have realizations in class. And by the way, if you're interested in class, it is donation based. You are not required to provide donation. Our public classes, we have 2 currently listed in January, working on several private classes. And one is in North Florida and the other one is in North Carolina. So go ahead to Saveonemore.life and check out those classes and venues. One of the most common questions we get is how long can a tourniquet last? So we're gonna kind of get some visuals. These are 3 used ones. We'll go over individually. And it's not as easy as just saying a date. It's not as easy as just saying, okay, after 5 uses, 100 uses, they're done. It's not that simple. It heavily depends on what you're doing to them. But to give you a comparison, this is a brand new one. You'll see a color difference in a moment. Brand new, I have not even staged it to my preferences yet. Then here is a not new one. Significant color differences. You'll see fraying edges, much more. Let's get another one. This is a separate one. See some blood mix staining there from class. No big deal. Now, I'd like to encourage you, if you're someone who likes tourniquets in training, definitely use CAT tourniquets. There's a lot of good ones out there, but CAT is just awesome. And it's pretty hard to beat, and I've tried. I've been trying for this whole year. While I was in Ukraine, that was something I took a lot of time trying to do, beating the tar out of other options because these were hard to get there. This is just the best thing on the market, in my opinion, to this time, subject to change. All the abuse these take is amazing, and you'll see some consistencies. So you'll start to see fraying edges. This one's not too bad. The time tab usually wears fairly quickly, not a huge deal. Depending on the dirt that I'm putting on it, some dirts have more sand than others in there, more clay maybe, and the time tab will sometimes just rip entirely off. But if anything's gonna fail, that's not a bad point. That still takes a while. One of the main things I inspect, though, to know if a tourniquet is still effective, in my opinion, is these sealed marks. So this one's still good to go, even if it looks a little dirtier. These marks here will start to pop. And I've had it still function correctly all the way down to the 3rd one here. That means it's lost a lot of its own strength. Let's see if I have one here that's popped any. You'll start to see it on this one. Here we go. So you're starting to see some of the pop sections here are giving way. The material has gotten a lot more slack. It's not going to be long until that one is not what I would call good to go to save lives, but it does still work at this time. This one here is in even better shape. Yep, even fewer issues going on. So all 3 of these, even if they look grimier and more beat up, they're still functional. They will still compress an artery to save lives. Another thing that I notice is where the windlass is connected. This is another point. So your strap here should be a Kevlar inner belt, if I remember correctly. And that belt can start to become brittle, or it can start to wear as you twist over and over and over, and it will give you wear marks on these edges. So that's a point that I really have to be careful of. As soon as I start noticing any kind of wear on that corner, any of these corners, then I will replace that immediately because it's going to fail shortly after because of how the whole system has to work. Another thing is general stringiness is what I'm going to call it. You'll start to notice some fibers coming from the side of the entire system. It's not catastrophic. It's just definitely an indicator of wear. In fact, here you go. Getting a whole cord. But for the moment, it would still work. when you start to see the outer belt separating to expose the inner belt, you're on your way to a catastrophic failure. But here's the prime question you've got to ask. After how many uses and after what level of torture? I put these through the ringer. I have a huge respect for what North American Rescue has done with CAT tourniquets. They have created something special with these. I think that they are so quality that there's an enormous amount of companies trying to beat them, and they're struggling to do so. That's how you get to a Gen 7 of anything. This is a CAT Gen 7 tourniquet. It has 6 previous generations of trial and error that we did not have to get shot and blown up to get the information from. So I have appreciation for the discoveries they've made. And I have tried all the other generations at various points, and this is definitely improved on a number of levels. But it's really encouraging to me, after all the torture testing that I do to these, they still hold up for an extensive amount of time. So I assume when I teach my classes, like again, I've got coming up in North Florida in January as well as North Carolina, I notice that after probably 60 to 80 applications, depending on how much mud and water I have exposed them to, they are approaching the end of their life. Now, that depends heavily on how someone has used it. You'll notice the buckle here is starting to curve. It's gonna pinch the next time somebody uses that. That's not that catastrophic, it's just an observation. You might even be able to bend it back. But after 60 to 80 uses of actual applications, so I do not teach people to do it halfway. I don't teach people to partially compress an artery. No, we're gonna actually practice it for the 2-day class as if it was real. And in that 60 to 80 applications before things start to deteriorate is pretty amazing, considering the alternatives that are on the market. So yes, I'm a big fan. I'm not sponsored in any way by North American Rescue. Would love to be because I use all their stuff, but I'm not, and these are excellent. Take my word for it, guys. I have either myself destroyed or caused someone else to destroy literally hundreds with an S, probably into the thousands of these. So I hope that helps. So I hope to see you guys at class. Please come and obtain yourself one of these awesome stickers at class. Again, we're just giving them away. You're also welcome to contact us at training@Saveonemore.life, and we'll see you soon.